Okay, guys. This is not gonna be easy. Okay, so it's quite obvious that I've disappeared from YouTube and from basically the face of the planet for the last month or so. So we're gonna talk about it while I get ready for the day, which is gonna be super simple, but I say that and then I'm probably gonna end up doing something ridiculous. I started, okay, hold on, let me see where this starts. And honestly, I'm not gonna be good with dates in this video. Last video I was really good with getting dates and stuff, and I guess I could pull out the stuff to see exact dates because I have it right next to me. So let me do that right fast, and that's the only date you're really gonna get. So this started at the beginning of June. We'll say it started at the beginning of June. We're gonna go with that. So at the beginning of June, I get sick. I start job training, right? And it was like at the very beginning. And I went to the first day of my job training, and the whole time I felt sick. The whole time I felt like I was going to vomit. I was going to pass out. At one point, I had to leave the room and go to the bathroom and lay on the floor so that I wouldn't pass out. I made it through the first day, and then the second day, I could not force myself to go. Like, I ended up in the hospital that morning. I went to the ER. So I go to the ER, and I'm because I'm throwing up. I can't stop throwing up. I'm sick. I'm in the bathroom, literally on the floor, just sobbing. So I call my friend, and I get her to bring me to the hospital. And I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry. And we're in this job training together. Like, that's notable. So I'm like, hey, I know we have training today. I'm really sorry, but can you come pick me up and bring me to the hospital? Because I'm not doing good. I'm doing really bad. I need to go to the hospital. Like, it's really bad. So I go to the hospital, and they do all these tests, CAT scan, you know, the works, and I get diagnosed with pancreatitis. And it's so bad this time, and I can't hold anything down. I can't even hold the drink for the CT contrast down, you know. They normally make you drink this giant drink, and they were like, drink at least half of it, and then we can do the test. And I drank it, and I threw it up, and I threw it up some more, and you know where this is going. So they put an ENG tube in me, I think is what it's called. They put a tube in my nose, and the tube goes in through my nostril, down my throat, into my stomach, and they pump my stomach. Like, they take everything out of my stomach because it's just making me in so much pain at this point. And I then get admitted and moved, like, by ambulance, get transferred to Alexandria, an hour away. A bigger hospital with better doctors and GI doctors, you know. So I get sent to Alexandria, and I'm admitted for 4 days, and they do a bunch of tests, and you know, and they find out that it is pancreatitis. It's also let me see. I got diagnosed with colitis, abdominal pain, and acute pancreatitis. So, you know, they're treating me for all that, and I stay there for a good 4 days, and then I'm discharged because they get my pancreas under control and everything. Noted at this point is that they don't tell me to make any life changes. Like, they don't tell me to do anything different. They just treat me and then send me home. I was discharged on the 10th. You know, I'm sent home, and I'm doing fine. I feel better. I've been treated. I have fluids. I mean, I'm still sick, but I'm doing okay. Like, I'm managing by myself. And I don't have anyone home with me is a part of this story that should be noted, is that I'm pretty much home alone at this point. And so when I get sick, I'm alone. A few days pass, it's fine, and then I get really bad again. Like, I'm sick. I eat something that triggers my pancreas. I didn't know that's what was triggering my pancreas at this time, but I ate something that triggered my pancreas. And so I don't know if I want to do matte or shiny today. Sorry, I need a brush. These are all the brushes that I have that need to be washed. And yes, I'm going to pull one out and I'm going to use it even though it's dirty because I haven't washed my brushes in a while since I got sick actually, which is disgusting, but I'm working from a little bitty pile of clean brushes that I have left, and then I pull from the dirty ones if I absolutely can't make it work. Alright, I eat something that triggers my pancreas. No one is around. I'm texting everyone. No one is around. No one can help me, so I call an ambulance. Because, like, I'm literally dying. I feel like I'm dying, so I call an ambulance. And the ambulance comes, and they pick me up, and they bring me to the hospital, Pancreatitis Hospital, you should know that. And I go to Pancreatitis Hospital, and they basically pump me full of fluids, pump me full of morphine. Yeah, they give me morphine, and then I don't see anyone else. Like, I'm in there, and then I don't see anyone else, and then all of a sudden there's a nurse coming in and saying, "Alright, let's get you home, sweetie." And I get discharged, and I'm like, wait, hold on, I'm not okay. And they're like, "Oh no, you just have a stomach bug. You'll be fine, you just have a stomach bug." So they send me home. So I have an appointment with my GI doctor on Monday. At this point, it was Tuesday. No, it was Wednesday. And I get sent home, and I have an appointment, so I'm like, okay, I'll just make it to my appointment, and then my GI can decide what's best. And, you know, if they say it's just a stomach bug, then it's a stomach bug, whatever. I'll just deal with it. Well, I'm in bed, bedridden, can't do anything for the next few days, like the next 6 days or whatever, until I go to my GI doctor. My friend picks me up to go to my GI doctor. I'm literally crying the entire car ride and throwing up, you know. And so I get there, and she's like, "Honey, you need to go to the hospital." And I didn't want to go to the hospital, but I was like, okay. So we go to the hospital, and there are so many people there that I just can't do it. Like, we couldn't even get, like, seen for like 5 hours. Like, the wait time would have been over 5 hours. So I'm like, can we please just go home? Please just take me home. I can't do this. Like, I can't wait. I'm too sick. I can't do this. And she's like, okay, we'll go home. So she takes me home. And of course, you can guess what happens. 2 days later, I'm still screaming in pain, and I can't handle it. And I beg her to take me back to the hospital. So she takes me to Shreveport Hospital, and I'm admitted on the 18th. I stay there for 6 days with acute pancreatitis again. And, you know, they treat me really well, and it's really good, and I have all these tests done. So at this point, they finally tell me that it's my diet that's causing me to relapse. Like, I'm eating too much fat, my pancreas can't handle it, I don't have the right enzymes that I'm supposed to be taking to handle it. For my body to be able to handle it, and for me not to get sick. So they tell me to change my diet to a low-fat diet, like 25 grams or less a day of fat, which is not a lot. Look at a package of chips. I can't have chips anymore. A package of chips is pretty much that. So they tell me to do that, and I change my diet completely, and I have a follow-up with my GI in 2 weeks, which was yesterday, right? It's 2 days ago. It was on Monday. This is where we're at now. I'm put on this, in the hospital, I was put on this new medicine. Last time I talked to you guys when I was sick, I was on Pancreatin. The Pancreatin didn't work. It was super expensive. I had to get it in the compounded pharmacy. It was a super headache. It was really obnoxious, and I ended up being told not to take it because it wasn't working. So anyways, I get put on Creon this time, and I'm on 24,000 unit capsules, and I take 3 with meals and 2 with snacks. And they look like this. They look like these little pills. And I take these with everything I eat. I do not eat unless I take these. I am aware of how much pain I will be in. I am terrified of relapsing at this point because it's been so bad. I've never experienced a worse pain in my life, I swear to God. And so at this point, I'm terrified of just relapsing. I'm just so scared. So I take it. And anyways, I go back to my GI doctor 2 days ago, which is where we're at now. And she diagnoses me with chronic pancreatitis and tells me that my test for it being autoimmune came back negative, and I don't drink and I don't smoke, so it's not caused by substances. So she's like, since your mom and grandma have pancreatitis a lot, then it's probably hereditary. She tells me basically like what's gonna happen and everything, and that I'm gonna have to go see a geneticist when my results get in, which is fine. But she's like really pleased with my progress, because since I've been on this low fat diet and since I've been on Creon, I've been fine. Like, I'm like pretty much a normal person after my pancreas healed, because it took upwards of 3 weeks to heal, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, I still feel it some mornings. Like, I still have to take a leave a lot, and I was on freaking Percocets for the first 2 weeks of it, and out of the hospital, because in the hospital I was getting pain medicine every 4 hours, like religiously, because it hurt so bad. And I mean, I stayed in there for a week until they could heal my pancreas enough for me to go home, and then they sent me home with Percocets, like from Shreveport. Anyways, so my follow-up went really well Monday, and I mean, in the way that well can be said, because I obviously have a lifelong disease now, and we know that for sure, and there's nothing I can do about it other than be careful with my diet and don't screw up. Like, if I screw up, I'm gonna end up back in the hospital, and I know that for a fact now. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm on all this medicine. I'm actually on more than that. I have to take like this Prilosec. I was on this Prilosec like medicine when I got out. It was like a super strong one, but now I'm just on Prilosec because I have it under control enough to where I can just be on Prilosec, and it works. And I'm on nausea medicine for if I eat something and my stomach gets upset, because that happens a lot too. So I have a ton of nausea medicine lying around all the time, always with me. I don't go anywhere without my Creon and my promethazine and Zofran. Like, I just don't. At least I know what's happening. At least they figured it out. They finally figured out why I've been so sick for so long, and now I'm being treated for it, and it will be good. And I can't complain much, because it could be so much worse. Like, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm on a lot of medicine, and the doctor told me that I'm doing so well, and my pancreas is doing so well on my new diet and on my new medication, that I don't have to go in for an entire year if I don't have a relapse, if I don't have another flare-up of my pancreas, And if I do, I can go in, of course, and she'll either treat me with medication or hospitalize me like I've been getting done. But at this point, it's looking up. Like, it hasn't looked this up in a really long time. Even in the last video where I was explaining everything to you, we still didn't have concrete answers. We still didn't understand why this kept happening and everything. So I feel very thankful and lucky that we finally figured it out, and that I can be treated, and that I can move on with my life. Because like I said in my last video, I hadn't worked. I really haven't worked since then. Like, that's how sick I've been. But I feel like I can't do this and talk at the same time. But I feel like after I get everything regulated and settled, then I'll be able to go back to that job and finish training and start a career in my field that is actually very rewarding. Was a job that I really wanted, and I was really looking forward to doing. The timing was really bad. My body didn't want me to have a job at that point, and I was trying to force it to do something, and it just doesn't work like that. Listen to your body, guys. Like, it knows what it's doing, and Even if it's frustrating most of the time, you're like, why? Why are you doing this to me? It's for a reason, and if you keep going at it and at it and at it, you'll figure it out. I mean, it took me over a year almost to finally figure out why I'm constantly sick and everything. And I promise, being on a diet like this sucks because I'm gluten-free and I can't have more than 25 grams of fat a day. Like, most of the time, I joke because I'll eat a can of cream corn for dinner, and that's not like a joke. That's for real. Last night I ate a can of baked beans for dinner because I had to force myself to eat. I'm supposed to eat 6 meals a day, and most of the time I barely get in 3. Because my pancreas just still can't handle that much food, but I'm hoping to work my way up to where it can. And I honestly feel like I'm getting better every day. Like, every day is a little less painful, and every day I can feel my pancreas a little less, which is all I want. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, guys, and I just wanted to let you know, in case you were wondering or worried about me. Yeah, I've spent quite a few nights in the hospital lately, and just been trying to get myself back on track, and hopefully you understand, and hopefully me explaining all of this helps you to understand. Or if you're going through something like this, just keep going, because I know it sounds really stupid and cliche, but it does get better. And I didn't think it was gonna get better. I thought it can only get worse. Like, and then at some points I was like, it can't possibly get worse than this, because I was in so much pain and agony, and I was miserable. But it does get better. It gets easier. There are people that want to help you. You just have to find the right ones. Hello? That's me. Yes, ma'am. Oh. Thank you. That was one of the nurses from the Shreveport hospital who who messed up my blood work, even though they had to draw it like a million times. I got my blood drawn every day I was in there. She was calling me to let me know that they messed up my vitamin D test, and that I have to go back to Shreveport to get it redrawn because they obviously messed it up. Whatever. I don't even remember what I was talking about because that kind of just irritated me.